everybody, what's going on? Thank you once again for joining us on Loving the Skin I'm In. I am your host slash moderator slash troublemaker slash race car dealer, D. And we have the infamous throwing rocks, Donovan Saadiq.
Wait, I'm throwing rocks and then running.
Yes.
Afterwards.
And then talking about, did I do that? So as always on Loving the Skin I'm In, it is our duty and our mission to, for one, promote loving ourselves as people, and especially Black people, and being unapologetic about that. And with that, we like to tackle a lot of the issues of today, the headlines and things like that, and try to tie it into how can we be more loving to ourselves. So for today, we are going to discuss Mr. Colin Kaepernick, and specifically what we're going to ask and be discussing is it time to boycott the NFL? More specifically, is it time for Black people, including players, people who watch the sport, and anybody else, is it time to boycott the NFL due to how they are blackballing Colin Kaepernick? Now, as most of us who do not live under a rock know, Colin Kaepernick has been ostracized, blackballed, and whatever name you can think of, because he took a knee during the national anthem in protest of police brutality and the injustice that Black people go through in America. Now, he opted out of his contract, so he wasn't fired from or let go from the team of San Francisco 49ers. He opted out of his contract in hopes of getting a better contract. Well, as it stands, a couple of weeks as it sounds, to training camp, he is still without a job. And he's gone through, to audition or try out, I guess you can say, for various teams. And they said, well, he's a good fit, but we're going with somebody else who has, in a lot of cases, been less than, a lackluster in comparison to him as a player. And so here he is now auditioning, tryout, is that the right word?
Well, yeah.
Trying out with the Baltimore Ravens. And so they're making a decision as to whether they're going to keep him or not. If you ask me or hire him, I'm going to say they're giving it lip service and they're not going to do it. So here we are. What's your take on this, Donovan?
Okay. Now, I know people are going to get upset and stuff like that. And by the way, we had 20,000 people that watched our last show together.
Well, all right.
They liked our background. I'm very sure a certain person in the city, it was about angry Black women, and a certain person in the city probably did not appreciate my little jab, but I was just giving an example.
When you come up missing, I'm going to know where you're at.
Right, but I was just giving an example of angry Black women.
Okay, well.
Okay. So, anyway, but in regards to Colin Kaepernick, I'm going to have to say this. I have no problem with the stance he makes, but when you make a stance like that, there's repercussions. Now, I love my people. We do this show because we love our people and any person of color. But you've got to take care of yourself first.
Okay.
Okay? So when it comes to my money, am I going to make a sacrifice for people I don't know? No, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, okay, he made his stance. Where are the rest of the Negroes supporting him? Because 70% of the NFL is Black. Nobody wants to mess with your money. Get your money first, bruh. Get your money first. So I'm not saying what he did was wrong, but at the same time, it was a detriment to his livelihood and his family. And now he's paying the consequences. And as typical, nobody is. It's like us doing this show. We're doing what we're doing, and we're putting out the information, and we're fighting. Nobody's fighting with us.
Right. Well, I mean, I do agree with you on that. You should, the first law of nature is self-preservation. With that, yeah, he should have thought about his money, but who's to say he didn't think about his money? Because when I Googled his net worth, it said he was worth about $22 million, so that's still considered a lot of money. On top of, the guy has donated $1 million of his own personal money to various causes.
And how come these causes are not putting pressure on the NFL to get this guy working? And don't get me wrong, I got to correct you a little bit. He took a pay cut after they had gone to the Super Bowl. He had renegotiated his contract so that they could bring in other players to help them get to the Super Bowl.
So he's just an awesome guy, just giving.
Giving, team player.
So yeah, I mean, but we also have to take into account that freedom is not free. And I'm preaching to the choir. I mean, you've given, what, 25 years of service to this country.
24.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know that freedom isn't free.
It isn't free, but
you know,
somebody's got to
pay. Cost somebody something.
Somebody's got to pay.
So, you know, looking at Kaepernick, perhaps he's taking that into account. You know what? I know me taking a knee against a national anthem, which is very racist.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, they never play the third part of it, which, you know, the guy who wrote the national anthem was mad because slavery was ending, and he was saying, and I'm paraphrasing, you black Negroes, he probably said something else, but I'm being nice,
right.
You will never have happiness or anything
as long as I'm alive.
I mean,
right.
pretty much. So he's mad.
Right.
And so here you are, you know, people are pissed off with it, and let's call it like it is. A lot of white people are mad, saying, oh, well, this is our country, how dare him, you know, disrespect our flag and our country. And I always say this, yes, I'm an American, my people didn't ask to be here, so I'm here, I ain't going nowhere. Just for you people who talking about you can leave.
We're an anomaly. Out of everybody in this country, we are the only ones that was forced here. And
then told to leave if we don't like it, you know, so... But it's the flag and anything and everything under the flag was never written or for the benefit of black people. I'm just be honest. It never has been. I mean, up until the last couple of years, there's things in the Constitution that's been changed, like whether we're still 3/4,
right.
I mean 3/5 human, and the right to vote and all this. So, I mean, so why are we mad at this guy?
Well, I'm not mad at them, and people got to understand it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And certain businesses in the NFL, different teams, have in their contract written in. Did you know that Jerry Jones, not one of his players, took a knee because it's in their contract?
Right, and I read that the other day. He was saying basically, I wish you would.
Yes, it's in their contract.
Everybody needs to stand.
Needs to stand, and that's a contract that you go into with your employer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But still, if you're conscious about blackness, you know, Muhammad Ali, I mean, you got to make a stand and say, hell with all that.
It ain't free. Look what it cost him.
Right.
It cost him in the prime of his fighting career,
right.
It cost him probably millions and millions of just everything.
And what ifs. Millions and what ifs. Yep.
So, and then to your point about the NFL having 70% black players, 100% white owned, you would think because their product, which is primarily...
Wait. Michael Jordan doesn't own a team in the NFL? No.
Because I stand corrected.
No. Michael Jordan's a basketball player. He owns the Charlotte Hornets.
I don't watch sports, but I know a little bit.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan... All right.
So the players are the owners are 100% white. Players are 70% black. Their product, they being the owners, their product are black men primarily.
Yes.
Wouldn't you think they would want to have the best interest of their players at heart? Okay, well, their people are getting murdered wholesale by police officers for nothing, not even next to nothing, but nothing. So let me go out on a limb and care about them too and say, I'm in support of you, Kaepernick. Yeah, I would that you would stand for the national anthem, but because you don't, and I know why you don't do it, I'm in support of that. So wouldn't you think the owners would be supportive of that?
Yes, but black people buy product, and unfortunately, Nikes and stuff like that, that is a commodity that doesn't benefit the NFL. Now, if you go to Jerry's World, because I'm a big Cowboy fan.
Yes, you are. Unfortunately. No, I'm just playing.
And a Raider fan. I love my Raiders too on the AFC, but I'm an overall Cowboy fan. Those tickets aren't cheap, and Negroes in general are not buying that kind of tickets. But we're buying the jerseys, $200 jerseys and stuff like that. You know, we're commodity people, so when you're dealing with that, it's like, what have I been saying for a long time? What are you going to do?
Right. So that brings us, or me, to the next question. Is it now time for black people, not just because I agree with you, what we going to do? Is it now time for us to stop giving lip service? Because one of my favorite quotes, I forget where it comes from, it says, along with getting angry, you got to take action. Otherwise, you're just pissed off.
Right.
So... is it time for black people and like I said, players and spectators alike to say, you know what? That's our brother. He's out there putting on the line for us. He's, perhaps lost his job, without a job. He's taking a hit. All to say, hey, police brutality is wrong. We need it to stop. So shouldn't we also, as you said earlier, join him in that? I mean, it's going to cost us something, whether it's 2 or 3, I don't know how long you spend watching football. I don't have TV, but if it's going to cost you that many hours in enjoyment on a Sunday, I mean, isn't that a worthy sacrifice?
Well, see, here's the problem that you know and I know in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
We have all this talent. The NFL would not exist if it wasn't for that 70% of us.
And to take your point for, let me ask you
Mm-hmm.
this. Let's say half of the 70% of black men say, you know what, I'm not playing. What would it be like watching that?
It would affect the NFL.
It'd be like watching paint dry.
It would be like watching high school football.
Right. So we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think the owners know that?
Exactly.
But you know what else they know? They know your last point. They ain't gonna do nothing.
Exactly. What's she gonna do?
They just talking.
Right. They're
not really, like you said, they ain't buying tickets. They gonna buy a jersey, but they're not really affecting our bottom line.
Bottom line.
Exactly. But if some of those players would say, you know what?
Right.
It's gonna cost me something, whether I get fined or lose some money, then so what? You know what I mean? So what? I think that's really what it's gonna take.
But see, you gotta remember, I have a wife that has like $300 weeds in her head and stuff like that,
well,
and she's on me. We have this house payment because the problem in the NFL, especially when it comes to the black athletes, is within 5 years of retiring, they're broke because they've got 7 cars, 4 houses, child support payments. They got a ratchet over here and a ratchet over here. No. I mean, and that's real. And these guys are so immature. The only people making money off of these black athletes are the attorneys and the sports agents. And they're broke, but the attorney and sports agent get their money off the top. And guess the majority of sports agents are white, Caucasian men.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, okay, let's just say all that does happen to an athlete in 5 years. Well, pretty soon, you're not going to be living in that gated community.
Right.
That even to this day, you might get harassed while driving into it. So you might be living on the other side of that gated community. You may not have all the luxury that you had when you had the money. So your chances of becoming that guy to be profiled or brutalized by the police has gotten that much greater. So why wouldn't you want to take the hit now, opposed to it happening to you for real? Like,
well, for me, if I was like a person like Colin Kaepernick, even if he doesn't get back into the NFL, he has opened a door to a career in activism.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Al Sharpton, he's getting paid.
Jesse Jackson took the money. Jackson took the money too.
Exactly.
They took the money.
They gave him a TV show.
They're like, damn,
radio show.
I mean,
See, so it's not the end for Colin Kaepernick, but a prime example of what happens to athletes is Terrell Owens. Greatest athlete, he's into himself, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. He crying because his child support too high. He got too many women. He got too many children. He got too many assets and not taking care of all this other stuff. So he ended up broke anyway. So let's take that. And
T.O. did it to himself. Yes. I mean, was one of the greatest players at his time, and some will argue even of all time. But all of those issues he did to himself.
Right.
But what Colin is fighting against is those things aren't. We're not bringing that upon ourselves. Like, I should be able to walk down the street or drive down the street without I'm a woman, and if I see a police officer and they following me too long, I'm like, oh my God, are they running my place? Not that I don't think they're gonna find nothing. Right. They might be like, oh, we know who her daddy is.
Right.
But
right, Bolo.
Right, be on the lookout. But yeah, so we live in that world to where if we see a police officer, we are on edge. Right. So, this brother is taking of all people, he's a celebrity.
Yeah, he took a hit.
He needs police protection. I'm quite sure they're not protecting him. And I'm sure he's okay with that. Sure. But any given time, some sadistic fool can run up on him and do something. But he doesn't have to. They made it clear, we're not going to protect this guy.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm in, pretty much the same situation. I'm over here. And,
but, you black belt. what is it? Dragonfly Jones.
Yeah, Black Belt Jones. Like I said, anytime. Everybody, Google it. I'm public record. You can get my home.
You're welcome to check.
Yes, you're welcome to come over here.
You can dust off your iron fist on them, huh?
Exactly. I mean, all this training, I would love to put it to good use. So.
Well, hopefully that never happens. But if it does, hey, it is what it is.
Right. Exactly. I mean, cheap Austin Bears. I've been calling y'all now. But no. But you're bringing up good points, because if we could get to, that's our problem. When it comes to things like that and coming to a person who's making a stance for us as a people, we are so quick to drop $10,000, $20,000 in the strip club. I'm just, I know people that's like, oh, that isn't. that shows you how ludicrous we are and what we think is a priority or what we should be doing. This guy's making a stand. Everybody should make that stand, knowing the numbers and the statistics that you just quoted and I just quoted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and I think the NFL owners would be like, okay, wait a minute, wait.
And then another thing, if you think about this too, with all of the talent and all the money that 70% of players have, how come they just don't go start their own league? I know Ice Cube was kind of trying to do it or something like that, but what if they did that? I mean, what if?
Well, and that would be a good idea, but they would be crushed by the capitalist economy.
Probably, but it would be more entertaining. They have all the talent.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, we had a Negro baseball league.
Yeah, but guess what happened to that, though?
Right. The minute that they let us integrate, it crumbled. Because guess what? As a black person, I'm not going to go to the old store that was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Cleophas Jones. For years. Been in the neighborhood. The minute they let me go to Woolsworth, I'm taking my money over there.
Right. That, in addition to, you just got to know that, because there will be white people who will go to the game, scouts and stuff, and
to farm the talent out.
Yeah, I mean, we was having a good ass time at those games. You see, all the talent is just lively, and so you just know somebody somewhere in a white organization is like, you know what, we need to acquire that talent.
And that's what happened, and that's how Jackie Robinson came over. And then we took our money and our dollars over there, and the Negro League collapsed.
Exactly.
And that's what would happen because, let's say we did form our own league. This is just my opinion. We did form our own league. Hey, dog, I'm not paying no $80, which is what you would pay at a regular NFL game. Hey, I need a discount. I need to hook up.
Well, see, and that's another thing, really kind of to my second point, we do need to change that because we know in the black community, and I'll always state these statistics because they're true numbers and it's something we need to come to grips in with. If we're going to love the skin we're in, we need to realize what exactly we're dealing with. The black community now realizes $1.3 trillion annually. Okay, that's a lot of money. It says it's enough to make the 11th wealthiest nation.
Yes.
So that's a lot of money, but we give 97% of that back to everybody else, which means we keep 3% to pay bills and
buy
struggle.
Shoes. Right.
Exactly.
Buy shoes. Right.
Right. So if we had our stuff together financially, then we would matter more to the powers that be, whoever you want to say that is. We would matter more because they'd be like, wow, those black people over there, they got their stuff together. They're keeping their money in house. We know if they chose to boycott us, it would make a difference because
yes, it would.
They have financial power to do that because I don't care what color you are, green is universal.
Yes.
So,
but when you talk about boycott now, the minute that Colin Kaepernick is out there, did you notice that the one person that is going to criticize what he's doing and his appearance was Michael Vick?
Well, what's happening with Michael Vick now, though?
He's out of the NFL.
But he's trying to get a job somewhere.
Like coaching or doing something like that.
Some internship. And guess what's happening? The very same people that he was caping for and cooning for, I'm going to say cooning for, are now saying, oh, no, we don't want him over here. Right. He's a dog killer.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Oh, he's a murderer.
Which is not true because his cousin Ray Ray and Pookie were the ones that got caught on his property fighting the dogs. But that also goes back to the ignorance of black people. When you make money like that, cut your entourage, dog, and move on. But
you can't come over here killing dogs, okay? But to your point,
career.
It was not more than 2 weeks ago that this man was giving Colin Kaepernick advice. Oh, you should cut your hair and be more appealing and not be a threat and all this other stuff. But okay, brother, you cut your hair.
Right, when he had his braids
and all that. You did all the stuff you were giving him the advice for, and you still ain't good enough. To quote Jay-Z, and even before Jay-Z made the record.
That's a good point that you just said.
Yeah, even before Jay-Z made the record, it's been said about black men, no matter how much you put into yourself, how many suits you have and nice cars you drive, you are still a nigga.
Well, guess what?
To them.
Forget Jay-Z. I'm not a Jay-Z.
I'm not either, but
Ice Cube said it. No matter how much you try to switch, you still that bitch.
There you go. And what does Kanye say? You still a nigga in a coupe. You got a Mercedes Benz, to them you still gonna be a nigga. Not our words, but that's just the way it is. So
that's the reality of society that we're living in. My mother always told me that. You gotta play the uniform you get now. But just because, in our generation, it was about getting out of the hood and you didn't want to stay there. It stinks in the hood, you know what it does.
Right.
And I was talking to my friend Laura Ann, and she was talking about like certain things that she experienced or whatever. Just because I'm black, don't assume that I know anything about the ghetto, which I don't.
Right, and yeah, I think that's a general assumption for people on the outside.
Right, looking.
Yeah, they just feel like you're synonymous with the ghetto because you're black.
But there you go again. Once again, just because I look a certain way in the society that I live, I'm always going to be associated as that.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
That's reality.
And you think about somebody like Colin Kaepernick, who has two parents who are white by adoption. Obviously, he's black. So you would think of all people, he's got money, he's got influence, he's affluent. Of all people,
and very charitable. Very charitable.
He could have said, you know what, that's y'all problem. I don't have those type of problems. I'm in with white society. My family is white. I'm half white. I got all this money.
Take that ladder, pull it up.
That's I would never have those problems. He could have did that of all people, but he threw all that away to say, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm a black man who cares about my black people, and that if it costs me some green dollars, then so be it.
Now, I want to say this, and I know people are going to get upset when I say this, but you guys know it's true. Colin Kaepernick. Now, we know we have a problem with color in our colorism in our community. I think it's a damn shame that a light-skinned guy with a big 70s ass afro is taking a stand that should have been taken a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what I say to people who would like to have the argument with me about Colin. The brother is very awake.
Yeah, very.
He's not one of these people who did, like a lot of sports commentators would like to say, I don't think he thought this through. Really? So you think the man just woke up one day
and got conscious?
He knew what he was. He knew it potentially it would cost him his life. He's done a lot of studying. We always see him with the Black Panther T-shirts, Che Rivera, all these
subliminal messages that if you weren't paying attention, I mean, I would have told you in the military, get that motherfucker out of here.
So you don't think he knows that?
And
you also don't think he knows the history of the people that
and his struggle.
Right. The Black Panthers who have been framed and murdered and all kind of stuff. You don't think he knew that? Of course he did.
Of course he did.
But again, freedom is not free.
Right.
And everybody wants it, but nobody wants to pay for it.
Nobody wants to pay for it, exactly. Right. Which goes back to what we've been saying. We talk about this all the time. You got all these young, able-bodied young men that can't find jobs right here in the Inland Empire. Okay, I'm not saying the military's for everybody, but sitting here, ruining your life, getting a record, which is not going to make your situation later on in life any better. Not everybody in the military does combat. Now, if you want to do combat, you go right on ahead and join the Army and the Marine Corps. How many Navy personnel have you heard in the last 16 years of these new wars has been killed? Air Force folks that have been killed. I hear these. I had this one young person come to me and say, "Well, I want to be a doctor. I want to study to be a doctor or a nurse." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just go have the ROTC over there pay for it at Cal State San Bernardino or Cal State Fullerton or whatever?" Right. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to war. You don't put doctors in the front lines.
Well, yeah, no, and I can't even argue with you about anything military because that's your, expertise. I just know that, from a black person standpoint, I'll just give my father an example. He was what you guys would call a defector. During the Vietnam War, he was not going in.
No, he wasn't a defector. A defector is somebody who just turns their, they're gone. Okay. He was more of a conscientious objector.
That's what I meant. Conscientious objector, however you say it, what he said.
Right.
So that's what he was. Not
like Donald Trump, like Donald Rumsfeld.
No, he wasn't conscious. Okay.
But 5 deferments. People that's
okay, but let's just even take their example. This country is more for them than it is any
and
black man.
They didn't want to fight for it.
Right, but they want to tell you to tell your kids to go fight for it, But my father was like, this is not my country. I'm going over there to fight some people who ain't did nothing to me. So that, the average white person in America can continue having white privilege. But when I bring my black ass back over here, I'm still going to be discriminated against. I'm still going to experience racism. I even might get shot by, a wayward police bullet for whatever. I mean, I'm going to go through all those things.
Isn't that funny? He was saying that back in the 70s.
And
that is still applicable to this very day.
So can we call him Nostradamus, or is it just, it's a trend? You want me, you see, and that's the problem. America, and you know, and for all you people who say I play the race card, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying America is all bad. I mean, I'm here because I want to be here. It's probably the best country to be ever.
Let me cut you off real quick, but the funny thing is, America spends so much money in propaganda trying to keep us here, because there's a lot of us that want to leave,
right?
But they won't let us leave because we are the economic base that keeps this country going.
But you know, being black in America is rough.
It is.
It is extremely.
It takes a special person.
It does, and I went to watch a viewing of, it's called Resurrecting Black Wall Street this weekend at this museum, a black museum that has soul cinema every once a month, and they showed this film. And the premise of the film was that it could happen again as far as black people can be unified financially in every way, shape, or form. We just need to get back to that. But outlining how we got away from that, it wasn't our fault.
Right.
It wasn't even our fault that we got to that.
The system's rigged.
It's always rigged. You know, we were vital. We had everything we needed in our communities. But again, you know, white people hated on that, were jealous, were mad because they weren't getting our dollars. And they took every opportunity to dismantle that, and that's what they did. And those are the facts. So when people say, "Oh, well, you know, black people they're lazy and they don't want this and they want that, they don't have unity," every time we tried to do that in America, it's been shut down from every way you can think of.
And they look for, like what Edo Benvizi does, people within your community that is willing to sell their souls and do their bidding. Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
Al Sharpton, these people that say they're for you, oh, do this. Oh, you're going to pay me off? Okay, I'm going away.
Right.
And that's what we have.
I mean, if you want to take it back to, Nat Turner and his revolt, in the 1800s, who was it? Who was it that threw his revolution off?
Right.
It was a black man.
Black man. Mm-hmm.
So we do have that, and that's a huge problem. And it's not just
big problem.
Like with us, when somebody does it, it's not like something small, like, okay, somebody just over there snitching on Ray Ray.
Right.
It's huge to the point to where it dismantles Marcus Garvey's initiative to get us to go back to Africa to unify. To dismantle the Black Panthers.
Right. Malcolm X, all the FBI infiltrators that were black.
Right.
That did that, and kept tabs on, okay, the nigga by himself, let's get him.
Right.
So
there you have it.
So as long as we've got that in our community, that's what's always going to be, and I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is
the truth. Though.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, people. This is the thing people don't. They fail to realize. The truth is not always fun.
Right.
Which is why a lot of times people stay away from it. A woman, for example, she knows damn well that to her, she looks undesirable in the dress. So what does she do? She gonna ask her husband, "Honey, do I look fat in this dress?"
Right.
She don't really want the truth, because if he says, "Well, yeah, I can see those extra 15 pounds you put on, it's gonna be some hell to pay."
Right.
She don't really want the truth. So, I mean, the truth is not always pretty, but it is what it is. I mean, and again, as black people, like I said, I'm tired of being apologetic about the things that we want and the things that we go through. Nobody else is asked to run from their history. The Jews, this. If you think about what happened to them, and it's horrible. I will never say it's not, because it is. What happened to them didn't even happen to them over here.
Right.
It happened to them somewhere else in a different country. But they have more homage and more respect paid to them, and I'm not saying they shouldn't.
Well, here's my thing, and I know people are going to disagree. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I do have a history degree. The people that call
you don't. You got it from Acme Academy.
Right, Acme Academy. But the people who call themselves Jews here are not actually Jews.
Oh, shuck it, duck it now.
I know that's opening.
Lord.
I mean, accepting Judaism is one thing.
Well, Whoopi's a Jew. Whoopi Goldberg's a Jew.
Right. Accepting Judaism. Sammy Davis Jr. was a Jew. You're accepting that, but people got to understand, Judaism is God's chosen people. I got to say was, because He opened the door for everybody now. And the real Jews, historically, people say, you got all these people that are experts in history and bloodlines, you got all this DNA. The original Israelites look like you.
Oh, yes.
And they're in Ethiopia right now.
See, now you're opening up a can of
worms. I know, but facts don't matter. But that's the truth.
Well, if that's the case, we can trace the lineage. Shouldn't I be getting some money or something?
You should.
Oh, okay.
So the Israel is actually their land, and they were kicked out of there.
Right. Well,
by people who profess to be Jews but aren't really Jews.
Well, and then a lot of people are going to disagree with this too, but the black man is the original man.
That is true.
So,
too.
I mean,
that's
and that's just
proven.
plain and simple.
That's
so,
been proven by Western European society.
Right. So, you know, with all of that,
Facts don't matter.
no, they don't. People, you know, it's just like with the Colin thing. People say, well, he's being unpatriotic. Well, if he is, why?
Right.
Like, it doesn't, you could go to Google and take a 5-minute lesson reading the facts behind the national anthem and the things that have gone on with black people and say, okay, well, to me, he's unpatriotic, but I get why he's doing what he's doing.
Right. Well, Dee, can I ask you this? Are you with what's going in our politics today, are you really surprised? You have a guy who is a reality TV star, who is president, 6 bankruptcies. The guy has no acumen. He has the mentality of a 3rd grader.
3 baby mamas.
Oh no, it's our country.
5 kids by 3 baby
Look at
mamas.
all his accomplishments.
And
all he's doing is
we can go into all kinds of other stuff, draft dodgers, so on, coward,
Which he
whatever.
took a hate monger.
Right, racial,
John McCain.
right, you know, we can go all on
sexual assault person.
Right, grab him by the pussy. I mean, I'm all for that.
Right.
You should still have a shoot of John McCain until then.
And
Because
knowing all these facts
Notice,
and what's going on,
he's got brain cancer now.
Oh, well, shit, he's like, I might need this over.
Exactly.
You crazy?
Exactly.
But if I had to have an
and look at his numbers, and look at all of these.
Really?
You're going to
But
see
it
a bunch of
become
these
more
Republicans
so
come
from
out,
the fact
and they're going
that
to talk bad
people
about Trump.
elect
Oh,
this
they're trying to
dude.
distance themselves.
Because we know
but
who
look
he
at their
is.
voting record.
But
They are
absolutely.
still
Portray-
voting.
That speaks
That's why I said people
volumes
say, "Oh,
about
Trump,
you.
he's such a hero."
I don't
No,
care
he's
what
not.
you say. I mean,
To
even
what?
to this
He's
day,
still
he's
voting
done you name it,
the
he's
Trump
done.
line and what they want to do. So don't get.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Confused.
No, I just thought that was obviously, you know, for dramatic.
Yeah, it's dramatic. And then, like I said, he could have killed it by not voting for the thing to proceed. That
Right.
would have killed it right there. But no, he
Just
voted to
wasting
proceed.
all that time.
But he opened the door so they can break it down.
Right.
And everybody said, "Oh, he's such a hero."
Right.
No, he's
No,
not.
I agree with you.
No, he's not.
I just think I thought it was an epic.
That
cinema,
look.
what do you call it?
Symbolic symbol.
Yeah, so-
get thumbs down.
Yeah. But no, Trump is you know, he in regards to Kaepernick, he also said, "Oh, well, the NFL owners know better to sign him, otherwise they'll receive a nasty tweet from me."
Oh, well, here's a guy who was an owner in the USFL, a failed league, and once again another failed business
Right.
of Donald Trump making a comment.
Okay, but so to that point, let's just tie it all together.
Okay.
You're the president of the United States, which has black people to the tune of 13%.
Of the
So
population.
aren't you the president of everybody? And if you know that black people are being unjustly targeted and murdered by the police, and he hasn't said one, you
Word.
tell me one word that he said about it. Oh, that's horrible. He hasn't said one word.
What do you got to lose? Vote for me, black people. What do you got to lose?
Right.
Everything.
Right, he had them all lined up. He had
Marissa.
you name it. They were all Steve Harvey. These had them all lined up to go in there. Here, the HBCU's presidents, they were all there. He's gonna get some money, and then he reneged on it.
Yep.
They talking about he told us we were gonna get this, that, and the other. And
Nigga.
exactly, he ain't did nothing, and I mean, we knew he wasn't. But if you're the president of the United States and there's 30% black people in the United States, you know that we're getting murdered unjustly by the police, and just we're going sent up the river to prison for stealing bubble gum or whatever the case is, or in a lot of cases stuff we didn't even do. They haven't said one word about any of it.
Devil's advocate. Obama didn't do anything either.
True, but true and not true. Okay, so if we're looking at it from the standpoint of, well, I didn't get my bucket of chicken every week, because for us, and I get what you're saying. So I have 2 points here. For us, we're like, yeah, you know what? And I agree. As a black president, black people should have had something.
Should have been a priority.
Yeah, and something tangible.
Tangible.
Something, you know what? Damn, by the time I got my 40 acres in a
Right.
Tesla.
I'm giving an extra $5 in food stamps to
Right.
the black folks, and if you want it or not, so you can go on a Taco Tuesday or the Popeye special and
You know
get your
why?
2-piece.
Because everybody else does it.
Right.
Everybody, president, he's the president for the rich people. He's
Cutting
making
taxes.
sure they're
Mhm.
getting theirs.
Exactly.
So if you're a
That's my
black
point.
president,
That's my
at
point.
least say, you know what, I'm running the country.
Right.
But yes, black people have been getting, they haven't
Shafted.
even been getting none of the stick.
Right.
So I'm gonna make sure they get something. So no, I agree with that. Now, if you really want to be technical, black people benefit under Obamacare.
Sure.
He did something for the black farmers, and
Sure.
various things like that. But was it significant to where all black people felt like, dang?
No,
I voted
because
for you.
and don't get me wrong, and you're on the right tangent. But like you said, it has to be significant to us.
Right, I agree.
Other people also benefit from Obamacare. Hispanics,
Right.
the poor white trash, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
He needed to do something concrete for us.
Well, because people will argue too that he did stuff for the LGBTQ
took care of their community.
Who else?
Exactly. But okay, let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
Where's the black lobbying thing in Congress?
What black lobbying thing?
Exactly. That's my point right there. What black lobbying thing in Congress? We're too busy worried about weaves and strip clubs and things like that.
Well, and also we are too busy worrying about fitting in the system. We're too busy worrying about people who don't want us around them or involved with them, other than taking our money. We're too busy trying to force them to accept us. Please,
Yes,
just
please,
accept
massa.
me. Let me come into your store. Let me shop with you. Let me give you this money without you following me around.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Right. So at some point in time, if we're going to love the skin we're in, we're going to have to start accepting ourselves and start saying, listen, we are all we have. And stop being apologetic about that. We're just going to have to do that. So
Right. I'm in wholehearted agreement. One person I want to give a shout out to on the show is, and I'm going to actually have her on the show somewhere down the line, is my little cousin. Her name is Kaye, and this girl is like 24 years old, I believe.
This is the one, the picture you put
Yeah.
up? Okay.
Yeah.
What did you call her last week? Something Shakur?
Yeah. No. That's my niece.
Oh,
Jazz.
okay,
That's
okay,
Jazz
okay.
with the big boobs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Jasmine. But this girl's name's Kaye Wooten, 24 years old, very impressive, very conscious. She wears her hair like yours. She
Okay.
afro things out and stuff like that.
I gotta tack down today.
Tack down today. It's wet. But this young lady is amazing in how she thinks. And, her mother wasn't really like that. And I'm thinking, where's this girl getting all this knowledge? But, she has knowledge of self and things like
Right.
that. And she would be a great, great addition. So I want to give her shout out because
absolutely.
she does listen to the show.
Absolutely.
And she did give you a great, great shout out about some of the
cool.
stuff that you were saying, because she was like, right on, sister. So a lot of stuff like that. So we can go round and round and round on these issues, and we're trying to ferment debate because we know what the problem is, and everybody knows what the problem is.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what are you going to do?
And that's really where it should start and end. What are we going to do? Again, I just really think it's really understanding that freedom is not free. Somebody is going to have to do it. I mean, you know about wars.
Yeah.
There's casualties of war.
But here's the thing. In our community, you got these gangsters. You want to shoot up the community, but you don't want to pick up a gun and better yourself and better the community.
The community that doesn't belong to you.
Right.
So,
it just doesn't make sense to me. And, and to me, that's the definition of a coward. You don't have to join the military to be a patriot or somebody in the community. But why are you going to sit there and sell drugs and death in your own community? Go to Koreatown and try that shit. Go to.
Well, they're too unified.
Right,
Go
exactly.
over there and do
We're
that.
not going to go do that. But us,
Right.
oh, we ain't going to do that.
Well,
Anybody can come in our community and sell any product. We ain't going to do that.
but it's again, a lot of that is due to conditioning and the things that we've gone through, because we weren't always like that. We really were not. For whatever reason, just
Well, Daddy Otis and Cousin Cleophas, they're in their 70s now.
right, and they shake their heads because when I
Right.
went to this museum when they showed the film, there was fortunately not a bad thing, but older people ranging from late 50s to even 80s. They were there. They were the most represented age demographic there. And a couple young people like myself, we were there, but they were saying how they wish the more younger people were there to get involved, because we had a discussion afterwards, how they wish the younger sector of black people would get involved, because like you said, they've done all that. They've taken the beats over the head so we can vote. And, not that really
And
helps
we're
black
walking
people.
right
but-
into jail.
Right, can you imagine being somebody who's 80 in your 70s? You're like, wow, all that I've done.
Right, all these broken bones.
And this is what they're like, we've passed them the ball, and they're going to fumble it.
And here's the sad thing. The ball skipped over our generation and went straight to the kid, and these kids don't know nothing.
And unfortunately, they have bought into the, I don't even know if that's a word. They've bought into the false idea that racism is going away.
Right, there's no problem
Things
here.
are going better. I say, look, honey, just because you can date a white man,
Right.
or you can date a white woman.
From the time I was in preschool, I was always around white kids and stuff, so there's no racism.
I mean, I went to a predominantly white high school.
I went to Catholic school.
Right, and junior high
Two
and all that.
Negroes in the school, me and my brother, and we were there for 8 years.
At my high school, the one that you went to for like 2 seconds,
2 seconds. Mm-hmm.
I started the Black Student Union.
I didn't know that.
Yes, we did not have one. We did not have a
I
Black
did not
Student
know
Union.
that. I went to that school, didn't even know it.
And you know,
I'm a black person.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to Mr. Hughes. I don't know if he's still alive. I doubt he watches the show. But I went to all the black teachers, all the black advisors, the black, you name it. I went because we needed an advisor.
Right.
In order to have the club. Do you know, Mr. Hughes, a white man said, I would do it?
Wow.
That's how we were able to start and keep that club.
What happened to the black teachers?
They were too busy. They didn't want to do it. If I'm lying, I'm flying right out of here. I promise you that's exactly what happened.
Wait, Sharon too?
Listen now, you know I still use you.
I know, yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah, she was probably having a baby at that time.
No, but all fairness, you know, she was a teacher and she ran the jazz club.
Right, okay, yeah,
So
she was already busy.
Truly, I believe she was busy. But I can't believe you.
No, I'm just saying because I know she she's active in the community, and,
Very active,
and that would be something she would have jumped on.
Right, but I can understand her plate was full.
Okay,
but we had a lot of other Mr. Piper. You know what? Ooh, can I stand that Mr. Piper? Oh my God, he's gone on now. I would like to say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Right.
He was a black man who just was not going to help us. Matter of fact, I tell the story all the time. I know we got a couple seconds, but in summer school history class.
What you doing in summer school?
My parents made us go because you're not going to just be hanging out. So I could have graduated early.
Right.
So anyway, I'm in school, got my test back from the history test, and the girl next to me, she's Hispanic. She had a B, and he gave me a D. And so we compared our tests. I did better than she did on the test. I said, Mr. Piper, surely you made a mistake.
No, I didn't.
Mr. Piper's a black man. Now, blue black is your doggone coat.
I love it. I love
it. So I said, Mr. Piper, you gave me a bad grade and I didn't deserve it. Bob told the whole story. He pulled me outside. You know what he told me?
What, you didn't work hard?
I gave you a bad grade because you're black and then you're going to have to work harder in life.
What kind of logic is that?
Shouldn't you be saying, you know, goddamn it, I know you got a B on that test, but I'm gonna give you a B because I know the cards are stacked against you.
Right.
I didn't know what to say.
You didn't. You worked hard to get that B. You should get that B.
No, he said that wasn't hard enough.
Wow. I wonder what his wife says. That took you a second to grab down, but you know what I mean. It ain't hard enough. But that you know, I mean, that's
baby,
not
I love you, but I just kicked you down the stairs.
I just kicked you to the second hour and talk about that. Like I said,
or I'm making you put a tattoo on your body, then you wake up within a couple of months.
He still has her show on Sundays at 3 p.m.
Or somebody reading from the book of Ice.
Right. Read from the book of Ice. It's very, very good book because it tells the truth. It tells the truth about the relationship.
And speaking of black love, y'all probably hear this rattling going on in the back. This is some black love with some Oreos.
Yes, we keep it real here.
And we eat some Oreos because I'm hungry.
But yeah, the truth about the Ike Turner, Tina Turner situation, you cannot sing and go on stage after your jaw has been broken.
That's kind of hard to do.
It's kind of hard to do, but she made a claim that she did it, and of course, now she's no longer a United States citizen. She lives in Holland or someplace like that.
Married to a white man.
Yeah, married to a white man, and I'm not mad at her. You know, once you go white, you know it's all right. So the saying goes. And
I ain't never heard that, but
yeah, well, that's what they say. So
I've heard once you go black, you never go back.
Right, unless you're a black man, you want to get back with the straight hair.
Which, you know, that's what brings us to the topic, girl, is black love there?
Is it there? Is it anywhere? What do you think? What's your thing?
Well, as I finish swallowing this Oreo, well, I would say, if you're on the outside looking in, it would make you question whether black love is dead or not because of the things you see regarding black couples or the things you don't see regarding black couples. Now, I'm in a black relationship, if you want to call it that.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. Listen, trust me. As I said once before, my man is black.
Well, he's a little on the light side now.
He's a little on the light side.
Now, you know we have a color problem in our community.
I'm telling you from what you don't see. Okay. The brother is black. Okay.
All right. TMI, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just need you listen.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Now, for those that don't know, Dee used to like them blurple.
I wouldn't say all of that. I mean, I don't discriminate when it comes to. I'm not into colorism. Like, oh my God, he's too black. You know, my daddy is black.
Right.
So yeah, I don't discriminate as far as he has to be just a right shade of caramel complected. I mean, that's so silly.
Right. Or he has to be 6'2".
Yeah, I mean, you know, my man is 6'4", but
right. Yeah, see what I'm saying? But you know, and you know, we're talking about black love, and this, you know, sometimes I'll sit down and okay, I'm an average height man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm average height.
You are.
I'm 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
The average height in the United States is 5'9". That's the average height of a man.
Right.
Now, you will see some women that will not give a guy because he's less than 6 feet tall a chance, but he might be a good man. But you know, it's like that's almost unrealistic when you go on these dating profiles and you'll read. And I don't like dating profiles. I'm on a few of them, but
Christian Mingle, you the devil on Christian Mingle.
Hey, my mom was on BlackPeopleMeet.com. That's an whole different story.
My mom was too, and I was shocked.
Yeah, I was shocked too. And my mom's like, "I'm no whore." So
that's what you tell me, Mom.
Something going on
it's
there.
All good. It's all good. I ain't judging you.
But you know, you'll go there and you'll see these black women, beautiful black women. I want this. I want. And the profile seems so angry. And then, you know, I'm just trying to be. I read the whole profile because a lot of people don't read the when you stop at like I want. You stop at that. But you know, I sent this young lady a message and I said, hey, you know, I enjoyed your profile. I enjoyed, you know, your background and everything, but your profile comes off a little bit
austere, just
angry.
Yeah.
You know, angry black woman. We talked about that last week. This woman came back and told me, fuck you.
Ooh.
End of story, period.
That's all you need to know.
That's all I need to know, but here's some constructive criticism. Hey, nothing wrong with your profile. I'm just saying it comes off a little bit angry. I know you're looking for somebody.
Well, were you looking to date her?
No. I was just
so
reading.
You were just giving some free.
Yeah, I was just looking. No. When I
you
read,
was cruising people's profiles like, okay, taking those.
Yeah.
Let me take.
No. You know, we took human sexuality at RCC, right? First thing that's going to attract you to anybody is physical attraction.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you say, well, I like his mind. You have to be attracted to the person.
Now you know
first.
damn well you looked at his shoe size first.
Right. Yeah, his shoe size. Or you like that tattoo.
Right.
It's physical attraction.
Right.
So anybody tells you anything different, it's bullshit. I stopped dealing with the chick at I want. That's why I said at I want.
So why does that? Why does the I want quote unquote turn you off?
Because you're making a demand of a person. If that person made the same demand of you, would you reciprocate that demand?
You know what? Honestly, I think it depends on if you like the person. Because you'll put up with a whole lot of stuff with somebody you're into physically,
but
in every other way.
But when you're first meeting somebody, you're at the club or you're at a function. I want you to buy me a drink.
Okay, so come on now.
But that's how it came off.
That person shouldn't even be able to leave the house with that attitude.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If you're trying to meet somebody, you can't meet somebody demanding.
No, you can't.
Right, and that's what I was trying to tell her.
I mean, a woman who is bad enough will be able to garner a drink without saying a word.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been out with you. And, you know, obviously me and you aren't romantically involved or anything like that, but we've been out and
That's because I love your sister. I love her.
But I've watched you on numerous occasions send drinks to women. And they have not said one word to you.
Not a thank you, cat, dog.
Or even, they never even said, buy me a drink.
Right.
You just, and your stance on it was because you want to show women that chivalry is not dead. There are still men out there who can appreciate a nice little woman walking into the bar.
You know, girls' night or whatever y'all are doing. Hey, you know, thanks for coming out. It makes me look at something very beautiful and enjoy my night. Right,
but on the flip side of that, a lot of women aren't used to that anymore. Oh, he must have put something in my drink. What's his angle? I'm not sleeping with him. Just because you buy me a drink don't mean I'm going to do nothing with you.
Well, the least you can do, like my mama said, if somebody's going to do something for you, the least you can do is say thank you.
No, absolutely. And, you know,
and that's all I expect.
I've been out with you, too, and you bought drinks, and the girl just Y2C right past you and didn't even look your way.
Black women. And then check this out. Nigga better buy me. I'm looking good with this foxtail on.
Stop it.
This foxtail weed. You know, and it's sad because You know, I mean, when you go to other, you know, I'm not trying to stereotype, but in my experience, you do that to any other culture, the least they're going to tell you is thank you.
Yeah, but you know me, Donovan.
Yes.
I don't think it's specific to black women. I just think we just happened to be in an event where there were black people and some black women who were unappreciative of you buying them drink, did not say thank you. But, you know, we tried to play devil's advocate.
Right.
Maybe they thought we were together, and maybe they thought you were my man and you was buying them a drink on a sneak tip.
But even if I did, and you're a woman of virtue, you should still say, it bust me out. Hey, thank you for the drink.
No man brought me a fruity drink.
Look, thanks for the drink, girl.
Right.
Girl.
I mean, I tried to find a reason why they didn't do it. Although I know it was just because they probably felt some sense of entitlement. Like, you're damn right, I look good. He gonna buy me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know, in the aspect of black love, I mean, it's really rare. It's like when I led into this hour. You got women that will be abused, and they think that that's love.
It's because that's all they know. They probably watched their mom and or father, whoever engaged in that type of relationship, and so they think that's normal. And then again, I guess you have to define abuse,
right?
You know, because I don't think most people. Well, some people do think physical abuse is normal. It's a sign of love. It's not, but they think that.
But okay, you know, this show's like Loving the Skin I'm In. And I said this on a previous show. I was talking to somebody. You know, I don't understand it. You guys that go to jail get pussy. They get pussy.
There is a
and I don't understand it.
I know women who have met their husbands while their husbands were incarcerated. Maybe through a pen pal type situation. I mean, I'm serious.
See, here's what I don't understand. I'm free. I'm walking around.
You know, I've heard it this way from a woman who had a man on the inside. Her and her girlfriends discussed it, and they said, at least we know where he's at. At least we don't have to wonder if he's coming home tonight.
But then what kind of man are you dealing with where, where that's your expectation?
But that's how they slept at night, with the fact that there was somebody who's in prison.
He's in jail getting bent over by butt buddy.
I hope not.
But see what I'm saying? I mean, why would you even take a chance like that? Because there are stories, and especially in our community, we don't go to the doctor. We don't want to know. Who are the fastest growing, matter of fact, the biggest epidemic of STDs? Black women.
Right. Well, yeah, no, it's
true.
It is true. But that's the way I heard it.
Right.
We know where he's at. I know when I go visit him, he's going to show up. And you know.
Mental illness.
It is mental illness, because what it says is, I don't have enough self-worth or self-esteem to find a man on the outside who will come home to me, who is not going to take me, as I say, through the stuff, making me wonder if he's with somebody. I don't have nobody texting and calling my phone. And now that you got social media going on.
Right. But what kills me is you've got women that are so loyal to these incarcerated men that they will put money on his book so that he could be comfortable while he's on the inside, and they can't even get diapers for their children.
Oh, no. Sad reality. I mean, that is the truth. It's the truth. But fortunately, you and I, have never.
Right.
Now, I would be lying to say I've never dated anybody who was incarcerated. Right. In my young 20s, I had a boyfriend who, for whatever reason, loved to drink and drive. So he kind of spent some time there. But as I got older, I had to mature and had to really get to know who I was, and that I deserve more. I can't do no time with you, brother.
Right.
I'm 46 years old. Not that my Al would ever do anything like that.
Well, I got something to tell you. Speaking of Big Al, I did a background search. I had MV Gordy just do it up.
He was like, this guy is outstanding.
No, he was like, he that drug connection through Houston, New Orleans, and stuff like that. Al is the kingpin of it all.
He says she is one lucky gal.
This woman's in love with her Al. Look, Al can't do no wrong.
God dang right.
No. Al's a really upstanding guy. I really like him. He has a good sense of humor because I tease him all the time and stuff like that. Really good guy. Yeah, he is 6'4". So.
But I mean, as I got older though, that became like, I look back and was like, how could you? But I get it. That's the stuff young women do. But there are women my age who are still taking those 2 and 3 hour trips to the penitentiary
with the kids.
Can't wear this, can't wear that, getting patted down, or whatever the case.
Traumatizing the kids, and then the kids think jail. And that was another thing. I had a friend that went to jail, and she was in the military, or whatever. And she got out of the military and got caught up in a bank robbery, or not a bank robbery, a store robbery, and she was in the car, whatever.
Yeah.
In love with this nigga, you know. Did 4 years in the military and ended up in jail.
And this is what he says, doing like 18 years?
Yeah, she did 18 years, yeah. She's about to get paroled, I guess, whatever it is. And going back up north. I said, why would you go back to the same environment you came from? But anyway, that's another story.
Jesus.
But this young lady, you know, got caught in that situation, and then she come, you know, she's getting ready to come out, and it's like, and she went in young. She went in like, she couldn't have been more than 21, 22.
Her whole life.
Oh, and a tiny thing. She can't be no more than 5'2".
Her whole life
destroyed.
Behind bars.
And nobody there to support her.
I have a cousin who gave the feds 14 years behind riding with her dude.
You know what I mean? That's wasted time.
14 years just being there.
See, and what I don't understand is, okay, when I went to go visit her, okay, it's visiting day, and she was, at the time, she was over at the Corona women's thing over there. And they were going to send her up north because she's ready to be paroled. She's in, what's that next, whatever the place is. There was a movie Kevin Costner has with, he's the running Mexicans and stuff. It's a really good movie. Go see that one. But she's up there now, and I went, and you know, you're waiting, you're going to the processing center, and I'm thinking, this is some bullshit to go through all this, right? But you got to go through it.
And that's just for you going to visit.
Just going to visit. And I'm sitting there, and I'm seeing and this is a women's prison, so all these women have children. And you don't think about that going there. You're thinking, okay, this is like the movies. I'll get the door, boom, I'm in and I'm out. No, it takes you like an hour. You got to have the paperwork ahead of time.
You can't wear a weave. You can't wear a bra with an underwire. You can't do this. You can't do that.
And you can't have an attitude. You can't do any of that. So they're ready to whip some ass. And so I go visit. I'm seeing all these kids, and in the visiting area where the kids are, they've got like playgrounds for the kids, and you know, cookies and treats. You know, they spend a whole family thing. And then I noticed, because there's no way in hell I would go, if my woman was incarcerated, would I go and bring my children up there? Because these kids, you're putting in their mind that jail's a playground.
And some of them, that's all they've known of their parent is the only place they've ever seen them was in prison.
In prison, right. And a lot of these women, a majority of these women are in there for drug offenses.
So, and that's actually a good tie-in to, is black love dead? Okay. Is that black love? Now listen, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that if your man or your woman go down for the count, you shouldn't be there. It just depends. Now, you got a career criminal that you're with, you know, he just keeps going in and out. Okay, you might want to reevaluate
that because we're getting older and you need benefits when you get older.
So I'm not saying, you should leave people at their lowest moment. Life happens, okay? But at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, even if you were green, is this love?
Right.
If you loved me, why do you keep putting yourself in a situation to have me, to take time out of it? Because, the visit sometimes is what, 2-3 hours long?
Yeah, it takes 2 or 3 hours.
But it takes sometimes 4 hours to drive up there. Then you got to wait through processing for hours.
And then you forgot this. You went up there for nothing. You got to go back.
Or you can't get your visit because you wore the wrong thing.
Right. Or the person did something that morning.
And they don't tell you until you get there.
Exactly.
So it is that love.
Right.
And not just really, talking about prison to put, prisoners on a hot seat.
There's a purpose for a prison. That's all.
Right. But that is a question nowadays. Is black love dead? And a lot of times people ask that is because you see a lot of infighting with black women and black men. Mm-hmm. Oh, black women, they do this, they got this, they got attitudes. Or black men, they don't do this and that. They love white women. So it's like a lot of infighting. Right. I'm not saying other races don't do it, but we do it publicly. I sent you a meme yesterday that had two it had black men wearing fighting arms. Come out. This is how black men look about the war on weeds.
Yes.
But this is how they looking there behind the curtain on the phone talking about
under the bed
fighting white supremacy.
Right.
So
that's a good point.
So if you ask me personally, is black love dead? I obviously would say no.
No.
Because I've watched both of my parents when they were married, they're black people, and they remarried to black people. Mm-hmm. I've never seen my parents be with anybody else. Mm-hmm. And I've never been with anybody else but a black man. So I would venture to say no, black love is not dead.
I have a lot of friends that have been married for years, and when I see them together, like some of them have been together 30 years. Mm-hmm. My friends from out of town came into town, and they've been together since high school. We were in Japan together. They're still together to this very day. Grandparents.
Black couple.
You know, I can go on and on and on. My military friends have been together. They go to, you know, couples retreats and like that.
Yeah.
You know, I always ask myself, why not me? That's the way it should be. Why not me? My problem is I love ratchet. I love ratchet.
Well, marry one.
No. The rule number one is you never marry a ratchet.
Well, then you've answered your own question. Why not me? Is because you love a ratchet, but you won't marry her.
I love ratchets because I'm waiting on your sister. Okay.
Well,
Now I'm going to tell you, there are certain people that are born in this world that have certain features and certain attributes. You guys get your attributes from mom. Beautiful woman. This woman was beautiful. I mean, remember that time I went over to Walters and there was like a party. You guys were doing a party or something. I think somebody had graduated. And your mom was laying on the couch, and I walked in. I was like, "Oh my God!" Remember? I walked in, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Because I mean, she was so beautiful. I was like, "Oh my God, whoa!" You know, because unfortunately, you know, you get our age, you expect this gray hair.
Yeah,
you know,
hey, you doing something?
Yeah, you know, hey, how you doing? Gorgeous woman. I mean, even in her sickness, this woman still maintained her. I mean, not a wrinkle on this woman.
Yeah, she did. And people would say that even on her deathbed.
Right.
I mean,
she still looked.
When the nurses would come in, they'd be like, "She just looks so young." Like,
young.
yeah, So.
I mean, gorgeous, intelligent.
Hopefully, I can get that going on too. You know, I may leave these Oreos alone, but today I'm gonna eat.
Well, no. Like I said, I'll be watching Al because, like I said, I heard some stories about him and his.
All good, baby. All good.
There's a big
legendary.
There is a big human trafficking thing going on in Houston, and I have a suspicion.
He can traffic me all day.
So, but you know, but back to, you know, loving the skin of man, and I'm giving you another example. Like, you have these beautiful women. Our co-host Deja. I'm going to put the video up. Some of the video clips come up. This woman came to the show. Her hair was beautiful, Afrocentric with the braid, beautiful. She dimmed the highlights a little bit, which was good. But you know what I'm saying?
She said dim the highlights.
You know, I mean, it was a beautiful hairstyle. You couldn't help but notice this woman, and you know, I don't know her business or something like that, but you're thinking, wow, you know, who wouldn't want a beautiful woman like that to?
Well, and I've never met Deja. I've heard a lot of great things about her. And I always say, I spent 3 years being single. And a lot of times when you're a woman, and she sounds like a woman who knows her worth. When you're a woman who knows your worth, you probably know your worth because you've been through a lot of stuff.
And she has.
That brought you to the point to say, okay, hey, I am worth more than what I've been going through. So maybe she's not willing to just settle.
Right.
Because when you get our age, I don't know how old she is exactly. She's probably a little younger than me. Okay. Jeremy, so when you get our age, you start to recognize the red flags quicker. Yes, you do. It's not like when you were 20. It's like, well, I know he, he don't have no car. He keep losing his job, and yeah, he got a couple of kids with some, a bunch of women and stuff. But I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna build me a man.
Well, here's the funny thing, and I'm glad we kind of walked into this part of it. I have some friends, and we were, came in from out of town. We're sitting, and we always get together and talk about what the hell's wrong with these young kids. We got grandkids. So of course, we're at that stage. We were playing cards. You know, old
y'all
folks
say, what the hell's wrong with these kids?
Grandkids. Well, how the grandbabies doing? You check on everybody's grandbabies.
Well, I'm glad nobody asked me that.
Right,
no grandkids here.
And you find out, okay, we're getting older. We're in our middle ages. I mean, 50.
I'm 46. Not quite.
But a couple more years, give or take 5 or some years, you're going to be middle aged. You're going to be in your 50s.
Unfortunately.
And I'm finding out a lot of our friends that were playing that stupid ass game. I'm in love with him, and he's in and out of jail, whatever. Now these people have no benefits. You can't get Section 8 now because your kids are grown. The kids have gone on with their life. Some of them said, "This is bullshit, Mom. I'm getting out of the ghetto." Right. They're doing for themselves because they said, "I don't want to live like the way my mom had me live. You want better." And so I'm seeing all these women that lived off of Section 8 and things like that, and we were sitting there talking. Well, Donovan, I don't know why. I said, "Well, you invested nothing. You took Section 8. I mean, the government fooled you. They literally played you, had you play yourself.
Well,
and now you're 50 years old.
True.
You're worried about the Obamacare being taken care of because you have nothing vested.
Me and you have a friend in common on Facebook.
Okay.
I think you should, because I know you delete a person quick if they on that bullshit.
Yeah, right.
She just been going on and on and on about this Obamacare.
Right. Okay. I know you got
yeah.
I know you
And finally, now that it's, you know, it's still standing,
Woo!
yes, but it's like, okay,